Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Courtney with Doodle Dollars, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make a scratch-off savings challenge in Canva. So I got a question the other day about my tutorial that I posted last week saying, where do you get your pictures from? And how do you get pictures that are not under copyright? So I'm going to start by showing you all where I get my pictures from. And I do have a link. I'll have a link in this video. I have a link in all of my videos that is an affiliate link for this website. But this website is called Creative Fabrica. As you can see, it has fonts, it has images, it has 3D crafts, like templates and stuff. It has a bunch of stuff on here, but what I am mostly interested in is the POD. Now, POD means print on demand, which means that any of these images that are under POD, you can put them directly on anything that you're selling and sell them as is. You do not have to change them in any way. You can change them if you want to, but you don't have to. So if you don't understand copyright law, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to explain. So do your research and, cover your own self. So what I do is I just avoid anything that would be under copyright law. So anything that is trademarked, any big companies, you can't put the Nike logo on something and the Just Do It slogan on something and sell it for profit. So Creative Fabrica is the name of the website that I use. It is $9 a month and you get unlimited downloads. I think they have other plans. Let me see. Oh, right now, I guess yearly access for just $3.99 a month. Good deal. That's a good deal on all of these images that you can get. I would appreciate it if you use my affiliate link. It helps. I haven't made money off of it yet. But, it would be cool if you did, if you're interested in it. Let's get into the tutorial. So I have some favorites here that I have saved. So I thought we would use this one. So we're going to download this. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. But you'll just click on download and then I go up here to extract all. And then I browse and let's see, wherever you want to save it, you can save it. I have a ton of folders in my Etsy. Let's see, where should we? Let's just save it to my desktop. Then time to go into Canva. What you're going to start with is a custom size. I usually prefer this when I'm making my stuff. I don't know why. So we are making a scratch off today for an A5 binder. So I'm going to start by creating a shape here by going over to elements and then shapes. I want to grab the rounded corner one and I'm going to go to position. Over in width, I'm going to put that it is 5 by 7. And I generally make my scratch off challenges 5 by 7 because they fit easily into one of those cellophane bags, and they fit easily into a standard 5 by 7 envelope. So if you're using envelopes instead of flats or whatever, it's just a good size and it fits, into the A5 binder nicely. So I think 5 by 7 is a good size. I like that size. You might be able to go a little bit bigger if you don't care about the packaging stuff and you're just making things for yourself. So now we're going to upload the file, the picture that we had. Where is it? Even my desktop is messy. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm a messy girl with my stuff and my files on my computer. Don't come for me. Okay, I know. So there's our image. It's all uploaded here in uploads. Again, I just went to uploads, upload files, and then I found it on my desktop and there it is. Oops, I bought another book. So then we're just going to center it right here in the middle of that. And then I like to kind of make sure that the background and the border go with my picture. So up here, you can go to color. And a cool feature that I don't know if you know about already, but this pops up, photo colors. So it automatically detects some of the colors that are in this picture right here. So I can click on that, and like that is coordinating, or that one, I kind of like that one actually. That's cute. If you like one of these colors, but let's say you want it to be lighter, you can come up here and drag this towards this side and up and make it lighter. Let's do that with the pink so you can see a different color. So you can drag it over to the left, or you can drag it to the right and make it darker. But if you see a color in the picture that you like and you want to try it out, like for example, this yellow sun, you can come up here and pick a color. And so you have this little magnified whatever that zooms into like the tiny little pixels of color. Ooh, that's pretty cute actually. Okay, I kind of like the yellow. Let's make it a little bit less bright so that it's not exactly the same color as the sun. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's nice and bright. And then maybe we can make our border pink. That pink. So, sorry if I'm going too fast. Sometimes I forget that I'm supposed to be giving a tutorial. Okay, so to get the border, I just click right here, and then I'm gonna change the weight to 10. I like to have a thick border. That way if I'm cutting stuff out and I am off slightly, it's not that noticeable and you still have like a nice border. Okay, let's do that. That is so cute. I like the pink. Yeah. Very cute. Okay, so there's our basic layout with our picture and our background. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the things underneath the scratch off stickers. So because it's about books, I want to add some books. So let's look up pictures of books. And we're just going to try to find some that kind of match the aesthetic. Okay. So I kind of like these. The only thing is these ones, the pinks and the yellows are a little bit too bright compared to these, which are more like pastel, and these feel like neon to me. So I'm gonna see if I can edit it with a filter. Okay, so I was just playing around with that a little bit. I think I just didn't love the books that I had, but I do like this one, and I'm gonna show you guys again what I did. So I'm using a filter. This is the picture. Let me scale it up so we can see better. This is the picture without any filters, and then I used the latte filter. I feel like that makes it kind of be more in tune, if that makes sense, with what we have going on here. So let me show you again the difference. That's the original. This is the latte. Do you see it's a slight, I feel like it's a subtle difference, but I think it tones down the pink and the yellow enough. Anyways, I don't want to harp on that, I guess, but it's important to me to have things feel consistent. So we're going to put 4 of these here. And we're going to space them out. So I'm going to select all of them. When you're spacing things out, what I like to make sure I do is, or an easy way to do it, is choose how high you want your highest object to be and choose where you want your lowest object to be. You can see that they're all in a line already, if they weren't in a line, you can go select them all. And the way that you select them all is by clicking and holding down Shift, and then you can select all of them. You can go to position and then you can click tidy up, and it'll make sure that they're all aligned in a row. And it'll also make sure that they're spaced out evenly. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of them. I'm going to group them together and hit Control D to duplicate them. Now this is something that's helpful right now. The like fuchsia colors with the numbers, that is telling me that this stack of books is 0.167 away from the picture in the middle. And so it is symmetrical to my other stack of books on the other side. So that's a good thing to notice, because if I go over here a little bit, they're slightly off. So I like that they're all, you know, aligned like that. So now what we need to do is just put in some numbers. Okay, so I have my numbers here. It should add up to 35. Let me just make sure. Yes, okay. So we can also add our save 35 here. I'm gonna add my little Doodle dollars down here at Doodle dollars. And I'm gonna make this really small. And I'm going to keep this in Canva Sans just because it's easier to read. And then the last thing I need to tell you about that I do is I make sure that my scratch off stickers are going to cover the stuff that they're supposed to cover. So when I was initially sizing these, I forgot to like mention it, but generally scratch off stickers come in standard sizes. So there's a 1 inch, there's 2 inches, but generally budgeting people use the 1 inch. Sometimes they use 0.7 and sometimes you see the 0.5, which are like the really tiny ones. But most commonly I would say is the 1 inch. So with my images here, you can see as I shift and like pull it out and pull it in, that it's telling me the width and the height. So I make sure that I am right under 1 inch all around and even a little bit smaller. That way I have more room for error, if that makes sense. So to double check though, and make sure that everything is fitting like the way that I want it to, you can come up here and go to the circle shape. And you can make this 1 inch by 1 inch. And then you can drag it over, Control duplicate. And then you can see like, okay, these are all lined up. Like it looks nice like this. If I put the scratch off stickers here, everything is gonna look tidy and neat. Last but not least, generally, unless I'm posting a freebie to Ko-fi, like a DIY scratch off, I'm gonna group these together, make it all like one big beautiful challenge, and then I'm gonna turn it on its side, move it over so that I can get 2 on each page, and then I print them like this so I have 2 challenges at a time and I'm not wasting paper. All right. And then I print on heavyweight cardstock, 110 pounds, laminate with 5mm sheets, which is, it's extra. I like my challenges to be nice and sturdy, but there's nothing wrong with like using 3mm either. 3mm will do a great job. It's just a preference. So that's how I do it. Yeah. And then cut it out, round the corners. All right, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. I appreciate any feedback that you have. If you want me to cover something else in my next tutorial video, let me know. I'm open to suggestions, and whatever you guys need help with, I'm happy to share. So let me know what you want me to do next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.